Yo YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy SalvationsElite. We're back with another video, guys. And man, today I just tweeted this, but I wanted to take advantage of the few days we have before the Modern Warfare multiplayer reveal and all the hype and all the news and everything else, and the beta comes out in a few weeks as well. So it's like, I want to take this time, a little bit of the downtime in the Call of Duty season, to talk about esports and how to get a job in esports. I get this question. This is one of the most common questions I get, whether it's like in my Twitter DMs or my Instagram DMs or just in comments on YouTube, is how do you get into esports? Like, how did I get into esports? And how can I get involved and get a job in the esports world? So today we're talking about that. And just before we get into it, real quick, I just wanted to say that on Twitter, on Discord, and in the YouTube community tab, a little bit later tonight, I'm going to be getting questions because I'm going to be doing like a 10,000 subscriber Q&A because we did hit 10,000 subscribers. Once again, thank you all. I really appreciate the support, and I'm excited to keep making Call of Duty content these upcoming few weeks, few months, and in the future together with you guys. So with that said, let's finally get into the video because we have a lot to talk about. I don't know how long this is going to be, but it might take a little bit to go through all of this. So without further ado, let's finally get into it. So the whole goal for this video is to provide value for you guys, some insight for you guys, and hopefully help you all secure jobs in the upcoming esports world, whether it's the Call of Duty League, the Overwatch League, League of Legends, CSGO, whatever esport it is. Maybe it's just an organization. You want to work for 100 Thieves. You want to work for OpTic. You want to work for Cloud9. You want to work for Liquid. Like whoever it is. Or maybe it's a game. Maybe you want to work for Activision's esports team. You want to work for Riot. You want to work for, whoever it is. You want to work for Epic Games. Obviously, it's going to vary for every single person. But at the end of the day, the esports industry is definitely different and varies a lot than the average business or your average industry, whatever else it is. And so I think there are some important things you need to know when it comes to esports, how to dive in and get a job in the esports world. So before we get into everything that you guys can do, I want to kind of give you an understanding of where I'm coming from with my experience so far. So as you guys know, currently I'm an MLG referee. I work with Major League Gaming for events, but I interned in their Columbus office last fall, and obviously I do YouTube, and all my content's about Call of Duty esports. So I would say I'm fairly connected in the esports world. I'm by no means like the all-in expert analyst insider guy, but I definitely have a fairly good understanding of the esports world. My experiences over the last few years have been incredibly enlightening, and I know there's things that I wish I would have known when I was trying to get into it just a few years ago. So the biggest questions I get about that are, how did I get my job? So first of all, LinkedIn has been a huge blessing, and the most important thing for me is LinkedIn. And I actually DM'd Adam Epicel, who's the vice president of event operations for MLG, and he actually replied to me on LinkedIn. Basically asked him for an internship opportunity in the Columbus offices, and I just said I'd love to come in one day a week, learn, help you guys however I can, and eventually it actually turned into an internship, or technically a practicum opportunity for me. So once a week I went out there. I was more like a fly on the wall in that case, where I was just kind of listening, learning, and really intaking information with the MLG world, and it was awesome. I really loved all my time there. Everyone in that office is awesome. Like literally everyone there was a blast, really fun office to work for and work at. I learned a lot in just those few weeks being there. So after that semester, they offered me an opportunity to work with them for events, and so that turned into the referee opportunity. And that's kind of how that all turned out, and that's how I've been working as a referee and for events since the start of Cod Bo4. I do sometimes feel bad when people ask me like, yo, how did you get into esports? Because I feel like I got pretty lucky. I literally just direct messaged Adam Epicel, and for whatever reason he decided to reply. And I mean, it is important to have it. Obviously, it's important to have a good LinkedIn profile when you're messaging. Have one that's engaging, shows off your skills and everything. But I guess now that kind of transitions just into the what can you do to get a job in esports. So first of all, you have to be proactive. You have to be the one to reach out. You have to be the one to do things. You have to be the one to really create these opportunities for yourself in a lot of ways. I wasn't just applying for positions. There's rarely positions in esports. It's becoming more common, but the easiest way is to create connections by, direct messaging them on Instagram, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and going straight to the source where you can get those jobs. There's a handful of things that when you're messaging these guys, you want to make sure to do, or when you're reaching out, or when you're trying to find that job, you have to be able to do. So first of all, you're going to have to be willing to work for free or cheap at the beginning. Like as we all know, the entry jobs or the first opportunities, the first foot in the door, for me, it was a free opportunity just to come down, take out a day of my week to come down to the office and learn and meet people. That was absolutely worth the time for me, and 100% worth it. My other opportunity that I had last fall was not technically esports related, but it was content related, which is what my passion is content creation. And I worked with the fantasy footballers. I love fantasy football, and I actually ended up working with the Fantasy Footballers, which was a podcast. So I worked with the Fantasy Footballers last fall in Phoenix, and I literally sent them a video asking them, hey ballers, this is what I can do, this is what I think I can do for you guys. I'd love to come down there. I can work for free if need be, and you know, I would love to have an opportunity to work with you guys and help you guys in any way. I'll just show you the quick intro of my video that I actually sent them. What up, ballers? I'm Josh Roloffs. I'm a student at Bowling Green State University, but I'm back in Nebraska for the summer. I'm currently in my studio. Some might call it a bedroom, but anyway, I have a proposal for you guys, just me and you, a proposal between us. So why I'm making this video is because when I first started watching you guys, so yeah, I just kind of sent them that and the ball started rolling from there, and that was where the conversation really got started. You have to be willing to provide value for them for free, whatever your job is, whether it's you want to be an accountant, you want to be a marketer, you want to be a brand manager, you want to, you know, whatever it is, business operations, league operations, engineering, production, like, you know, it could be any of those things. So it's definitely really important to go out of your way to showcase your skills. So similarly, I mean, you have to be unique in that way. So like I said, with that video I sent, and in your message to people, be really positive and talk about how you can help them, the value you can bring to them, what you can do for them, how you can help them in any way possible, and just be really creative with that. Come up with new ideas, like I can help you like this, or like this, or like this. I'm really willing to do all these things if needed. And like that type of language is extremely successful in esports specifically. So again, it's just really important to remove the risk from the employer, like wherever you are. And that's kind of how that worked with fantasy footballers for me, where I was like, all right, well, I'll do it for free. I'll only be there for like 4 months, so it's only for this semester. If you don't like me, you only have to deal with me for 4 months. I'll make the process as simple for you as possible. It takes away that potential stress of having to fire you, or like be worried about, oh my word, how am I gonna tell this guy that this guy sucks? Like I need him out of here. Like, you know, there's a time frame for all those things, and it makes it a lot easier thing for both of you guys. So I think that's really important. But again, esports is driven by people. So whenever you're in these experiences, you just have to meet people, talk to people, introduce yourself to people, and like be really willing to network in all those ways, because that's how people get jobs in the esports industry nowadays. So obviously, like, the skills are really important as well. And I mean, for all of you guys, it's gonna be completely different. Like I said, maybe some of you guys want to go into one area and others want to go into a completely different area, but there's a lot of things that you can do right now to increase your skills, especially in career paths that, you know, lean more towards the skill set side of things, like creatives, or you're doing projects and you're creating things, like in that type of sense. That's really important. I mean, obviously, as a content creator, I truly do believe in the content aspect of getting a job, where it's like whatever you're good at, you can create content about. So like, say you want to do marketing, so you can make videos about like why OpTic is approaching marketing the wrong way, or how OpTic could improve their social media marketing. So say you want to do business operations, so you could create a video that's called how can OpTic improve their business model, or say you're in statistics and analytics, finances, like you could be like how to improve esports with advanced analytics, how statistical analysis can benefit esports, or a video titled how OpTic is missing out on business opportunities, or, you know, things like that. You can dive into those topics and create videos showcasing your knowledge and your abilities, and obviously, you know, your entertainment, your ability to connect with people. Those types of videos could be what, you know, people are really impressed by for you, and that's why they hire you down the road. Or it's something that you can point to for future employers, like, hey, I've had these ideas and I would love to bring these types of themes and ideas to your organization as well. Sales is an incredibly important position in esports as well. I think there's not enough really personable people in esports, and it's getting better and better as years goes along, but the personal side of esports, where you're able to sell this game or this league or this whatever, this idea to somebody else, is crucial in esports as well. And that's the type of position that esports is going to need even more of in the future as well. So I mean, other ways that you can quickly be connected, like maybe you can be a mod for a streamer, someone who streams. I mean, there's plenty of people in the business side of esports as well who stream, so you can get connected with them that way, you know. And maybe that's your in, is being their mod, so they trust you, and then down the road they're like, yo, want to join me doing this, or like, I would love, or you can ask them like, hey, I'd love to join you in this venture if you have an opportunity there for me. And that could be a potential in. There's a lot of different ways where you can do ins, and like there's plenty of local events, and I would say getting involved in any way possible locally is extremely important, whether that's like an esports org at your college or your university, whether it's like a local LAN facility in like a LAN arcade in your city, or it's like an esports club that exists in your city, like something like that could potentially be it as well. Obviously, again, I would say content, networking, being direct, and always looking to provide value for the people you're trying to work for. Those are the biggest keys And it takes a lot of self-motivation to get a job in esports because of how the scene currently is. It's very niche. It's all about who you know. And so you really have to dive in and like really inject yourself into those circles to really meet the people you need to meet. And at the end of the day, sometimes just being willing to learn is one of the most important things as well. Like if you just honestly tell someone, hey, I would love to learn more about your industry. Would you be willing to do like a 15-minute conversation with me at some point? Like that could be a very positive message and something that people might be very responsive to. And I know I've had some success with that in my past as well. So I think that's a very effective way to get to meet people initially and then get that contact, and then potentially down the road, maybe that could turn into something else. You never know when it comes to these types of things, but down the road, I would love to help as many of you guys as possible. I mean, maybe one day I can create my own org and create jobs in the esports world for you guys as well. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe down the road that's possible. But if you guys have any other questions, drop them down below. I'll do my best to answer as many of them as possible. And I'd love to, you know, I want to help you guys find value in the esports world. And I'd love to see all you guys be working in the esports world down the road as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, like, share, and subscribe. Share the video if you guys really enjoy it. Again, hit up the Discord community, the Twitter, and the community polls for the 10,000 subscriber special questions, because I'd love to answer even more questions there. So if you want to have a really good chance of having your questions answered, drop them in the Discord, the community channel, and on Twitter tonight, when I'm going to be dropping all those later. So, but as always, guys, I'm your boy SalvationsElite, and we'll see you next time. I'm out.